Farmer Bae, the number one, thing that I do is teach people how to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, self-determined, and then teaching people about their mental health, because farmers, they're not appreciated, they're not valued, and there are so many farmers that kill themselves. So I shed light on farmer suicide, because who's talking about the farmers killing themselves that are trying to feed the 98% of the world.
Right.
2% of the world is trying to feed 98% because people stop growing their own food. And so you put all this pressure on everybody else. Hey!
Did you hear anything that I said earlier?
Yes, I heard everything.
Yes, okay, good. Because I was like, I couldn't hear you when you first came on. But wow, look at you. You are so beautiful. Even more beautiful. Like, I know we're not in person, but still, like when you came up on my screen, you definitely brought it to life. So how's it going?
Well,
thank you.
And congratulations on
thank
your promotion.
you. Thank you so much, girl. It's been a long time coming. I worked my booty off. But I definitely wanted to share that to, Motivation Mondays. Keep going. Keep working hard. Yeah. So what's going on your way?
I have just been relaxing. Today has been like a Sunday for me and a long weekend. So I love being an entrepreneur, because then you can decide what day, it is to you.
Exactly.
Like Monday, I love Monday, love Tuesday, love every day, because you can decide what that day is to you.
Absolutely. And we're going to dive into some of the things that you do. I mean, agriculture, Farmer Bae, badass environmentalist, badass. Please say the badass.
Badass environmentalist.
Yes, agriculture consultant and speaker. So let's talk about environmentalism and making it sexy. Because I just recently took like an environmentalist course in school.
Really?
And so it's crazy how the universe works, right? Like now I'm getting to talk to one.
Alignment.
Yes, alignment. So talk about that. Maybe a lot of people don't know what it actually means. I mean, I thought I knew, but until I took the course, I didn't really know. So can you talk about that a little bit?
When it comes to being an agriculturalist or a badass environmentalist, what?
Please say badass.
Yes. Because most people know what agriculture is. I think that they just don't take the time to think about it because they don't care about it.
Yes.
Right? And so that's where I come in, where I spread awareness and appreciation. Right. Because when you spread awareness, you also need to spread appreciation, because we need to start being more appreciative and grateful for agriculture. Right.
Right.
Because what I recently learned, maybe like a year ago, is most people are not thinking about their needs. They're thinking about their wants.
Right.
You need agriculture.
That's real.
I'm going to break it down real quick. 4 things: water, food, land, and air. Agriculture. Everything you need to survive.
Right.
But I prefer saying create, because we don't need to survive. We need to be creating and nurturing agriculture, because it provides everything we need. And so if we keep taking and don't give back, what's going to happen? And that's why we're dealing with all of these natural disasters and climate change and global warming. I'm from Los Angeles. We've had so many fires there.
Right.
It depends on where you're from. Sometimes you aren't familiar with what's going on in every state, but as a badass environmentalist, I have to keep up with not only America, but other countries too.
Absolutely.
Because in my opinion, when, You are a humanitarian, a farmer, a gardener, a steward of the land. I prefer calling it that. You put the land first because the land comes before the people, because the land was here before the people.
Mm.
And it's going to be here after the people.
This is true. Very true. That's a great way to put it. That's a wonderful way to put it. Just in terms of, we are always taking, so we have to give back. Like you said, there is a natural disasters linked to that, you know, not regrowing or recreating, as you just said. And I think that's amazing. And so an environmentalist is someone who spreads that awareness about what we need versus what we want. We need food, water, air, all of that. Perfect.
And when you make it that simple, then you're like, oh, wait, I do need those things.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, you know, everybody started to think about the needs because they were forced to think about the needs.
Absolutely.
And that's why so many people took so many risks last year, because they lost their job.
Right.
How are they going to feed their kids? How are they going to pay their bills? How are you going to keep your lights on? You're about to get evicted. The landlord doesn't care that you lost your job due to a pandemic.
No.
Your kid doesn't understand, depending on their age. So with that being said, there's no such thing as job security. And that's why I'm so honored and grateful to be able to teach people how to be self-sufficient and self-reliant and self-determined, because I hate when people call me the microwavable generation. Like, oh, you're not about to just put me in a microwave. I am a garden. I am a farm. I'm going to feed you for life. I don't want to be the, you know, meal that you put in the microwave.
Right. That's so awesome. To even think about it from that perspective too. You know, that there's no such thing as job security. But if you can grow your own food, you know, that's big. That's huge. So let's talk about, we just talked about generational, and that's, you know, coincidence as well, because I'm about to move into how do we bridge the gap of knowledge and concern about the environment.
There's so many ways to bridge the gap, and the easiest way is technology. Because we're in the 21st century. We have been blessed with technology. It's a blessing, you know, but most people do not use it how you're using it and how I use it.
Right.
This is how we're supposed to use it. To unite, educate, expose, enrich, empower. Because I have gifts, right? And so if I come on, you know, here, now I get to educate and empower the people that are listening today, or, you know, whenever they listen. And, you know, I get to learn from you. And that's what we're supposed to be doing with technology, uniting. It makes it easier for us to unite.
Absolutely.
Instead of dividing even more, like canceling each other. The key to, you know, uniting, though, is getting to know yourself. You know, so when I started to get to know myself, when I started to learn what I was passionate about, when I learned my purpose, then I started to attract what was for me. Right? Now that's what it's about, aligning yourself so you can attract those blessings and those people that are supposed to help you on your journey. And it's definitely, you know, difficult because we've been brainwashed, so we're not taught to love ourselves unconditionally and other people. We're not taught to be compassionate, forgiving, understanding. You know, we're not taught to heal.
Yeah.
Honestly, everything we're taught in school, we shouldn't be learning.
Honestly.
You know, that is really where it starts.
Right.
Because think about when we were kids, if we were taught completely different things, who will we be today?
You know what? I have to comment on a few things that you just said.
Yes.
The very first thing, when we talk about social media, and this is the way we can bridge the gap, about the knowledge and concern about the environment. You know, back in the day, we didn't have social media, so how this knowledge would be passed down would be from our ancestors, from our grandpa, our grandma, mommy, daddy, and that's still a tool that we have, a resource that we have too. And so now that we're the adults now, I think it's our duty to tell the younger ones about how important it is. Put them out there in that field. Let them see. I feel like it would seriously inspire them to do that, to actually watch or actually make something, create something on your own, where you get to see it grow and you get to see it flourish. Like that.
We have thumbs.
Yeah.
My dog don't have thumbs. I'm like, because he's not supposed to be able to do what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Look at everything in your room. It was created by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Everything we wear. These lashes, girl, whoever made these, thank you. So one thing, that I also like to share is why, we do feel the way we do in the 21st century as, let me say, indigenous people or African Americans or, melanated people, because of slavery.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to teach our kids about the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing that I learning about the pain is you can turn it into power. Because everybody goes through something, but it's all about how you respond.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so when we think about people during the civil rights movement, before that, Jim Crow, I can go on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
There's strength and peace. Because it's not just about strength. I tell people, I'm a peaceful Black woman. Stop calling me a strong Black woman. I'm tired of hearing that. I get that. My mama was strong. Grandma was strong. Great grandma got it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're peaceful Black women. Forgiving Black women. Loving, caring, nurturing. That's what we are. Because if we were really as strong as they say we are, we would have been taken over. But it's the peace that keeps us balanced, right?
I agree. I feel like it is a balance, because I can be peaceful, I can be caring, but I can also be strong-willed at the same time. Like I say this thing, I be like, I might be part-time ratchet, but do not try me, okay?
I will turn up.
Right.
I'm from LA, so I don't play, okay? But that's the part about balance.
Absolutely. And I love what you said, turning that pain into power, because I think I was talking to somebody on a previous Bliss talk, and I said I was playing this song, and it was just a regal song about Black women empowerment and then wearing your crown and all this, and I'm feeling some type of way. And I'm like, why do I feel like I deserve to be crowned or called a queen? And then I just think about all of my past experiences, me as an individual, and then also my ancestors. Like, yes, ma'am, I'm a queen. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I went through all of these things, but I still ended up getting back up on my feet somehow, So give me my crown. Yes, that's mine.
Underneath you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so we run, away from the land where our ancestors died, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, they became the soil.
Mm-hmm.
Because our bodies are biodegradable, just like food, just like a lot of things.
Right.
That's why you can, compost. And so we are supposed to become the soil.
Mm-hmm.
We're not supposed to be in boxes. We're supposed to biodegrade and become the soil. And we ran away from the land. I call it anti-agriculture backlash, because we view the land as one of oppression and exploitation.
Mm-hmm.
And now white people
control
agriculture. And it is a $1 trillion industry.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who started agriculture? And we just stopped being sharecroppers and farmers.
Right.
In like the 80s. I'm talking about 1980s.
Right.
Not that long ago. The Indian Removal Act was in 1830. That wasn't that long ago.
Right.
A Trail of Tears, that's what, they call it. So, when you know your history, you're like, wow, it wasn't that long ago.
Exactly.
It was not that long ago. And we owned so much land. Millions and millions of acres. And now we don't own nearly the amount.
I'm excited about our future, though, because we talked about power, right?
Right.
When we start to combine all of these superpowers, honey, we are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And they were talking about superpowers, not that long ago on Twitter and all of these other social media acts. I'm like, I really believe that there's like this shift in the universe, and it's our time.
It is. It definitely is.
Our time. It's like, and that's why I said the peace. Like, we don't have to fight for something that's inevitable.
Right.
Change is inevitable. I'm my ancestors' justice. You're your ancestors' justice.
This is true.
They couldn't do what we're doing.
I agree. I have to share that I am going to be the first sibling in my family to graduate from college. And so when I wake up every morning, I look around me and it's just like mind blowing. I'm literally my ancestors' wildest dreams. And a lot of people, if you're not from the culture or inside the culture, you wouldn't understand that, but it's shaking, it's moving. Like I'm a little bit shook just to think about that, But
you recognize your genius.
Absolutely.
That's what we have to do. We have to recognize our genius. But sometimes it's hard because we're in this world where most people don't believe in themselves. So then when they don't believe in themselves, how are you going to have an example, right?
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes it takes an example. And once you recognize how smart you are, I remember like when I was younger, I always tell people like, I did not like school. I was not a scholar at all because I'm a kinesthetic learner. So they don't cater to all learning styles. And I realized that when I got older.
Right.
Like put me out there on the farm. I want to be with the animals. Because I got 2 degrees in animal science. I was like, I want to be hands-on. I don't want to be sitting in the classroom. This is boring.
Right.
You lose me here. So they lose so many kids. And then the lack of passion, of these professors. Where is their passion? Where is their pride? And it's because of what they're teaching us. And when I graduated from the master's program and I started to like learn about farming, I'm like, I'm retaining it so much easier because I'm passionate about it. So it just sticks like this. Absolutely. And then I apply it. So you can't just learn something and think it's, going to be retained. You have to apply it as well.
That's absolutely true. So let's, we're going to transition a little bit. We definitely just had like a whole 20 minutes of inspiring conversation. But I want to talk about your branding as a entrepreneur, your branding and your building. So what are the next levels for you? Where are you at right now with your branding?
Learning.
That
is where I am. I'm a beginner. I'm a student forever. And once you learn that you're a forever student, it's, such a relieving feeling, because sometimes you feel like a lot of pressure, to know everything, right? Especially me. I'm an Aquarius, by the way, so thought I knew everything. But now I know that I will never know everything, and I'm so content with that. I want to be a jack of all trades and just become a master at, a couple, especially farming. But yeah, when it comes to Farmer Bae, it started like 3 years ago. Well, probably longer than that, but I started to really realize that I was destined to be a farmer 3 years ago after I graduated. And I created Farmer Bae last year. My friends started to call me Farmer Bae, but I was like, all right, I want to create my own brand. I want to help people, especially during this pandemic. I was helping a farmer last year grow sweet potatoes and black eyed peas, and we were giving them to the food deserts in the Black Belt region. And I'm like, this is the
amazing
time. Yeah, I'm like, this is the perfect time. And then I'm like, but it's just so much going on. Like, I was overwhelmed, right? And so I'm like, it's my brand. So I have to mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, and financially, you need a little money. You don't need a lot. You need a little, But yeah, I had to make sure I was good, before I tried to help humanity. And I started at 25, so that was one thing that I didn't, know, and that's why I brought that up, that my mom didn't know. Maybe some mothers and fathers and grandparents do teach, the kids, but nobody was teaching me those things. So when I realized that my mental health came first, then that's when my brain started to really flourish into what it is today. Especially because as Farmer Bae, the number one, thing that I do is teach people how to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, self-determined, and then teaching people about their mental health, because farmers, they're not appreciated, they're not valued, and there are so many farmers that kill themselves. So I shed light on farmer suicide, because who's talking about the farmers killing themselves that are trying to feed the 98% of the world.
Right.
2% of the world is trying to feed 98% because people stop growing their own food. And so you put all this pressure on everybody else. And then they're like 60, 70, 80 years old because our generation and other generations don't want to grow.
They don't have that interest. Right.
They don't even want to make food from scratch.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm not trying to call people lazy. They're lazy.
Yeah.
And it's actually fun. It's fun. I be telling people, like, just come out there. Like, especially when you're, like, connecting with the land. Like, we're supposed to be connecting with the land. We're supposed to be one with the land. Y'all watch Lion King? I'm playing on these. Y'all watch Lion King? What do you say?
But you know what? It's so true.
We are one.
I had a Bliss talk with this woman named Sakaya, and you guys should link, because she also connects, planting. She doesn't do agriculture, but she likes planting, planting like, I guess, plants. I don't know what they were called, but they were plants. And so she thinks that, well, her mindset is planting is a form of self-care. So I was like, and now you're saying that because of the connection that it has to mental health as well.
It's our medicine.
Right.
It's medicine. So when you think about who you are, you are what you eat.
Yeah.
You are what you eat. And if you are 70% water, and then the rest is whatever you choose to eat, and those things are usually coming from the soil, because even cows and chickens, the things that they eat usually come from the soil, unless you're getting it from, factory farms. Y'all don't really know where y'all should get meat, and I'm going to teach y'all that too, because I don't tell people to stop eating meat. Just learn about where your meat is coming from. because
Right.
there's no way that they're producing this much meat. Thinking about all of these juicy seafood places that just popped up in Atlanta,
Mm.
where they getting these crabs?
This is true. I was thinking that same
Where they
thing.
getting
I
all
was
these
like,
chicken?
I don't.
KFC,
Right.
churches. I can go on and on and on. There's way too many restaurants. And then you're also buying it for your house. Think for yourself.
Right.
Because they don't care about you. So,
I'm gonna
and
read some of these comments that we've been
yeah.
getting. We are not ignoring you. We're having this really great conversation. Angel says Farmer Bae, Salam. Muji says teach me. Yes, teach
I
us.
will.
Angel says deep.
For
Call it
life.
like it is. And Brooke says that you and Ashani should collab. Ashani was another farmer that we had on Bliss Talk, and he was very passionate, just like you are, about agriculture. So, yeah, I need to share some of these information, like the connect y'all, because this is what it's
Please
about, the
do.
network. Yeah.
Because, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine. But we were talking about that, people not being interested and people being lazy, but you're saying just come out there. So is it a volunteer opportunity? Can we just come out there if we wanted to?
There's volunteer opportunities everywhere.
Right.
And that's also what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
I help you find the farmers markets. I help you find the local farmers. I help you. If you don't want to do it, there's still other options.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to butchers. Then you can see the meat.
Mm-hmm.
You can cut it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if you go to a bakery, it's probably better than the bread in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
You're not reading what's on the back of the label. But they're putting love in it because they're passionate about it.
Right.
But we stopped going to mom and pop shops when Walmart was created and Target.
Mm-hmm.
That was not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was not. And more people are sick today
Mm-hmm.
than ever, especially after a pandemic.
Right.
70% of the people in the United States are supposedly on prescription medication. And so if that is the case, that means that the healthcare bill is $3 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of money. And
yeah.
the pharmaceutical company is so happy they're making this money. That's why they don't tell you the preventative methods. Right?
Right. Absolutely.
And there's only 2 types of suffering. And in America, you go through both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mental and physical.
Mm-hmm.
And you go through the physical because of what you're eating. And if you're not working out, people aren't as active because they're not going outside, especially now because of a pandemic.
Right.
But you can still go outside. Even if you just go in your front yard or your backyard. Or you can work out in your house.
I'm glad that we touched on that, though, the volunteer opportunity, because it's out there. A lot of people don't know about it. Or if it's not in their face, then they just, not thinking about it. But like you said, using this platform to actually educate people that you can volunteer. Right. And who knows, bring a friend. Make it a date.
Volunteering. People hit me up all the time.
Right.
And I've been doing it for years now. You get me? I'm trying to be more social on social media.
Yeah.
That's what I say. But yeah, there's just so many opportunities right in your backyard and you wouldn't even know about it. Or even just, you can regrow things. Mm-hmm. There are so many things that you buy that you don't have to throw away and you can regrow. Mm-hmm. Like a green onion, or like an onion, or like celery. Or like a potato.
I cannot wait for you to launch your website because I'm sure you're going to put all of this on there. Yes, and you're going to have your videos up so you can show us how to do it. But that's excellent. And just picture this.
Now, there's so many people already showing them.
Yeah.
And they can show you too. That's what I tell people. Like, I'm not special. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm this badass environmentalist. But You know, I'm unique, you know. But at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, I'm just like every other farmer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just trying to feed humanity and teach humanity how to do it themselves. Because that's what women do, right? We teach.
Absolutely.
I'm not about to do it for y'all. I'm going to teach y'all how to do it, okay? And point y'all in the right direction because I can't feed everybody.
That's real.
But if you really want to feed your kids, right? Men who really want to feed their family, women who really want to feed their family, money or food? What really feeds your family? So learn how to grow it.
Mm.
Because what if every grocery store shut down? What would you do?
Mm.
What were y'all doing when y'all couldn't get toilet paper?
Right.
I see where I was, but I would have had a plan B, C, E, D. You get me? Because I'm self-sufficient and I'm
Right.
playing for the pitfalls. But are y'all?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I hope y'all will be, because y'all, you know, have no idea what might happen. Who knew this would happen?
That's true. I want to
No,
end this
I didn't think I'd be
topic
wearing a
of.
mask.
You said what now?
I said I didn't think I'd be wearing a mask for a whole year straight, or
I know
not
that's
being able
right.
to travel. There's so many things that we were restricted to. Now we're being forced to get a vaccine.
Right. I just wanted to end the volunteer opportunity topic with challenging me included to go out to or reach out to your local farmer and see what volunteer opportunities are out there and make it a day. You can bring your boyfriend, bring Bae with you, or you can bring a couple
Go
of
pick some
friends.
strawberries.
Y'all have a little
Like,
fun, just
you
conversating
pick.
out in the field and planting. That sounds like a really good date, actually.
There's so many agritourism opportunities. You pick, we pick, and then you can get half off because you just went out there to pick it yourself, and then you know the farm, you know the farmer. You can bond with the farm. That's just like getting your hair cut. That's just like getting your nails done. Don't you want to know your nail tech? Don't you want to know the girl that's doing your Brazilian wax? Are you just going to go to anybody? I'm not about to just go to anybody when it comes to my food.
Right.
Either, period. Because after Nipsey Hussle died, all of y'all learned about Dr. Sebi, period. Or y'all knew about him before. Or I hope y'all learned about him today.
Exactly.
And all of these other holistic doctors that
But
cure
Jonice,
people. Yes.
we really need to make it a challenge, though. Can we do that? Can we
No,
make it a challenge?
we should definitely make it a challenge.
We gonna promote it
I'm not
too.
like hip with challenges because I am like this environmentalist. So I really do not be on my phone unless I'm posting for Farmer Bae or another business because I am a businesswoman. That's just like my brand. So I do talk about that, you know, first and foremost because that's what we need.
But I feel like this challenge, you know how social media is today. I feel like it's a great way to bridge that gap since we talked about that earlier. We create a challenge, like post a picture of you on a date, like volunteering at your local, you know, farmer's market or whatever. I feel like we can make this happen. But I'm going to inbox you and see if we can make it happen. We can make a flyer and everything.
We got to start learning how to ask for help because we cannot do everything alone. And then it's like, I help you, you help me. I pour in your cup, and then you pour back in mine. There's so many people that are greedy and don't want to give back. That's why I said you have to always give more than you take.
I agree. I definitely agree. This has been such a... It's been such a dope and just informative conversation. I'm definitely inspired. I want you to leave us with some keys and concepts. Anything that you might have learned on your journey that you would like to share that you're like, I wish I'd known that a little bit earlier, and I'm going to share that with somebody.
The main thing that I want to just reiterate, because I know that I love, you know, things to be reiterated. That's how you remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to, I know I'm passionate, so I always give a lot, but I have so much. But yeah, I don't want to, you know, overwhelm y'all with information today. And y'all got a challenge coming up, so y'all got some homework. But, but yeah, so I would say just remember that if we are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically healed, we will be free.
Mm-hmm.
People don't talk about freedom enough. And that is one thing that has inspired me to learn how to grow my own food.
Mm-hmm.
Because farming equals freedom to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to be free.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. How farming equals freedom to you, you know.
Because that's what our ancestors were doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody has been doing since the beginning of time.
Since the beginning of time.
Since the beginning of time, you have to nurture the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You nurture the animals, you nurture the bees and the bugs, and you nurture the fish. Because the ocean is 70% of the earth.
Mm.
So it's nurturing us more than we know.
This is very true.
Just like the trees, just like the soil, the sun and the moon. And what are we doing every day?
Right. To give back to the earth.
Back.
So before we leave, we normally do ask anybody if they have any questions that they would like to ask you before you get out of here. I see we already have one question in here, and Angel says, do you know about farmers market locations in other states, and they are hiding the location?
Yes, that is what I'm here for. So I've been doing research on farmers markets in all of the states, but I was going to start with Atlanta, Alabama, and California, because those are the 3 states that mean the most to me right now. I'm not saying I don't care about y'all state, but I say I'm from Cali, Atlanta. I'm originally from Los Angeles, and I moved to Tuskegee, Alabama, and then now I'm in Atlanta. So I've learned about those kind of like firsthand. So I've seen them, talk to those farmers, bought food from them, so I can kind of vouch. But I've been doing research on other states, so I'm going to have all of that information on my website, because it takes a little minute to post it on social media, because we only got one Friday out of the week, and I do like Farmers Market Fridays. So when this website launches, y'all will have all of that information for every state, and how to grow food in your state, because it depends on where you live. Those those factors are going to determine, what soil you have. So you're going to have to think about, completely different, things. It's all about the soil.
Exactly. Definitely. Any other questions while we have Jonice with us? Where can we send donations? Ooh, good question.
Yeah. I guess my Cash App, that's the easiest way.
Cash App, okay. What's your Cash App? Type it in there.
I'm going to type it in here.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it, Angel.
Yes, ma'am.
I just did a live with her not too long ago.
I just did one too with her not too long ago. And actually on Wednesday, I'll be on her live. So
look at God.
Look at God.
That's what I said, alignment.
Exactly.
Alignment. And I truly appreciate you. Thank you for this opportunity. And just creating a platform to unite us, because we need more people that are humble, that are able to put their pride aside, that are able to uplift other people and, see their gifts and motivate them and encourage them to be who they are. Like I love hearing people call me Farmer Bae.
Yes.
Love hearing that. It's so
Farmer Bae, badass environmentalist.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Pumps you up.
It does. Well, Jonice, you are certainly a queen. I'm so glad I got to meet you. Yes, Bliss Talk is here for people like you, people who are thinking about our future, that are on that grind, on that hustle. I'm so excited for your website. I can't wait to go check it out when it's ready. And if you guys would like to follow me, you can follow me at cbliss_pics. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have other inspiring conversations just like this one, where we just chop it up about the community and how we are building and how to build. You can learn a lot from other people in the community of their origins and the challenges that they face and how they got through it. It's very informative, not only inspirational, informative, but you get to network with other people if you go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube. Also, it doesn't cost you a thing to subscribe to YouTube channels. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's very free to subscribe. How can we support you?
Well, just follow my social media pages right now. I am on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Snapchat, TikTok, basically everything. So
all of the
follow me under my name. Some of them you can find me under Farmer Bae, but if not, Jonice Watts.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again. Thank you guys for joining Bliss Talk tonight. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Happy Motivational Monday, and keep pushing, guys.
Good night, y'all.